Acts chapter 7, we hear Stephen's second defense. First he talked about Abraham. Now he defends his case of blasphemy against the temple and the law and Moses with Hazrat Musa himself. We read chapter 7 of Acts, verse 17 onwards. Please open your Bible and read with me. Stefan Hegger, my name as well, being privileged to read with you, Stefan, in the Bible. Please, that's interesting. In Egypt, the number of our people, they grew and they grew. It was nearly time for God to make his promise to Abraham come true. Look, another king became ruler of Egypt. He goes on in the story. He knew nothing about Hazrat Yusuf. He was very evil and dishonest with our people. He beat them down. He forced them to throw out their newborn babies to die. Look now, Stephen tells the whole story of the people of Israel, how they were released from Egypt into the desert and then into the land of Canaan God had promised them. And who has God chosen? Hazrat Moses. Verse 20. Chapter 7, verse 20. Read it. At that time Moses was born. He was not an ordinary child. For 3 months he was taken care of by his family. When he was placed outside, Pharaoh's daughter took him home. Look, she brought him up as her own son. Moses was taught all the knowledge of the people of Egypt. He became a powerful speaker and a man of action. When Moses was 40 years old, he decided to visit the people of Israel. They were his own people. He saw one of them being treated badly by a man of Egypt. So he went to help him. He got even by killing the man. So Moses killed a person. Look at that. Was he a prophet? He was called but not yet appointed. Look at this now. Moses, verse 25, thought his own people would realize that God was using him to save them. But they didn't. The people of Israel didn't. Look. Just like they don't see that Stephen is anything special. The next day Moses saw 2 men of Israel fighting. He tried to make peace between them. Men, you are both Israelites. You are of the same people. You are God's people. Why do you fight, he says. Why do you want to hurt each other? But the man who was treating the other one badly pushed Moses to one side. He said, "Who made you ruler and judge over us? Do you want to kill me as you killed the Egyptian yesterday?" Oh, when Moses heard this, he escaped to Midian, some over the hills and the mountains in the desert. Look, he escaped because he was scared. He became the father there. He lived as a stranger. He became the father of 2 sons. 40 years passed. 40 years, that was when Moses was 80 years. Look, an angel appeared to Moses in the flames of a burning bush. Look, God appeared to Moses, spoke to him through the burning bush. This happened in the desert near Mount Sinai. When Moses saw the bush, he was amazed. He went over for a closer look. There he heard the Lord's voice. "I am the God of your fathers." The Lord said, "I am the God of Isaac, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Ibrahim, Isaac, or Jacob. Kachuda." Look at this. Moses shook off with fear. He didn't dare to look. Then the Lord said to him, "Take off your sandals. The place you are standing on is holy ground. I have seen my people beaten down in Egypt. I have heard their groans. I have come down to set them free. Now come, I will send you back to Egypt." Now God is sending him. Look, verse 35. This is the same Moses the 2 men of Israel would not accept. They had said, "Who made you ruler and judge?" But God himself sent Moses to rule the people of Israel and set them free. He spoke to Moses through the angel who had appeared to him in the bush. Has God appeared to him in the bush? The angels, yes, but God was there. the presence of God. So God led them out of Egypt. He did wonders and miracle signs in Egypt and the Red Sea, and for 40 years in the desert. That is until Moses was 120 years old. This is the same Moses who spoke to the people of Israel. God will send you a prophet. Look, that's what we have in Deuteronomy 18, verse 18, where our Muslim friends, this was spoken of some other prophet. But actually it was spoken of Jesus Christ, Hazrat Isa al-Masih. Look what it says here. Stephen quotes that, Deuteronomy 18:18. The same one who spoke to him. Look. This is the same Moses. God will send you a prophet, he said. He will be like me. Who is a prophet like Moses? Look, he will come from your own people. The Ban Israel, the Israelites. Moses, verse 38, was with the Israelites in the desert. He was with the angel who spoke to him on Mount Sinai. Moses was with our people of long ago. He received living words to pass on to us. Verse 39. But our people refused to obey Moses. Look, they would not accept him. In their hearts, they wished they were back in Egypt. So Moses was rejected. In the same way, Jesus the Messiah was rejected by the Jewish people. But look here. They told Aaron, make us a God who will lead us. This fellow Moses led us out of Egypt, but we don't know what has happened to him. That was the time they made a statue to be their God. So they did idol worship again. From Yahweh, from the God of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Joseph, the patriarchs. They worshipped a God which looked like a calf. They brought sacrifices to it. They were glad because of what they had made with their own hands. But God turned away from them. He left them to worship the sun, the moon, and the stars. This agrees with what is written in the book of the prophets. There it says, prophets have written, look, people of Israel, did you bring me sacrifices and offerings for 40 years in the desert? You lifted up the place where Moloch was worshipped. That's a God who sacrifices children. Children sacrificed a life to the Moloch God, which is nowadays is done as well, worldwide. You lifted up the star of your God, Rephan. You made statues of them to worship. So I will send you away from your country. God sent them to Babylon and even farther. Verse 44. Look. Long ago our people had with them in the desert the holy tent where the tablets of the covenant were kept. Moses had made the holy tent as God had commanded him. It was the tabernacle, look. It was made like the pattern he had seen. Our people received the tent from God. But the tent was just like a picture of Jesus. Look at what it says here. They brought it with them. They took the land of Canaan. God drove out the nations that were in their way. And that time Joshua was their leader. Joshua was their leader, it says. Look here. This tent remained in the land until David's time. And tomorrow we will continue to hear what David, the third person Stephen mentions to his defense, has done for Israel.